Hey YouTube, it's me B. Today's topic is very personal to me, and I hope you'll get a better understanding of how a person deals with anxiety and depression. So here we go. I think I've had anxiety since I was a little kid. I hear stories from my parents, how I would freak out over little things, losing something, or worrying about different things. My depression, I think, really manifested itself as I got into junior high. Probably earlier, but I specifically remember it, being bad in junior high. As I got older without medication till I was about 18, my problems would sometimes get out of control, and it came out a lot in anger. Then I hit 20, and I was attacked at the movie theater that I worked at. And it was a pretty serious attack that left me with a concussion and very deep mental scars. After the attack, my anxiety and depression seemed uncontrollable at times. I didn't even consider going to therapy at the time because I didn't know a lot about it and thought I could just get over it. That didn't work at all. And in 2010, it was an extremely hard year for my family and me, and I let my depression and anxiety get the better of me. I contemplated suicide at the time, and decided to call my wife, luckily. I was hysterical, and she talked me into checking myself into the local hospital between Midland and Odessa. That experience was okay. I went to group therapy and tried to work on some things the week I was there, but overall I got let out with some basic instructions to find a therapist and really nothing else. So I did what I was told and found a therapist, but I didn't like it. All she ever told me was breathing techniques, and I didn't feel like that was the help that I needed. So I quit going and didn't go to a therapist for about 6 or 7 years. I was doing fine after that scare. I was really just burying my emotions and ignoring them, really. And that got me by for a long time. Until about late 2016, my demons started to reemerge. My work was never good enough for my bosses, no matter how hard I worked or how many hours I put in, and I started to really get down on myself. That's when I put into motion the events that really changed me into the person I am today. First, I decided to quit my job in the oil field, and me and my wife decided to get out of Midland because if you don't work in the oil field, you can't make it. So I got a part-time job. We sold our house, and my wife decided to put applications around the country. As this was going on, I was seeing a psychiatrist, but still not a therapist. And I was slowly unraveling mentally, and I didn't realize it. We got the good news that we were moving to Dallas, so I wouldn't be too far from home, but I was still terrified. I had never been more than 30 minutes away from my family. So we moved, and I was excited and scared. But once I got here, I hated it. I couldn't find a job that I liked, and I missed everybody at home. And I felt like I didn't have anybody here. It was just me and the dog sitting in the hotel room for about a month. And I got really depressed most days. I wouldn't brush my teeth or shower. I just slept until my wife came home. Some things started to change though, and I thought I found a career path that I wanted to follow. It was in IT. I hated it though. So then I thought I'd try being a vet assistant. Well, I found a job at a crappy kennel, and I think that's when I hit my emotional rock bottom. I wasn't happy here. I was 30 years old, just left a job where I was making ridiculous money, and seemed to have everything I could ever want except for emotional stability. So here comes the crazy part. One day I'm driving home and something triggers in my brain and I decide I want to commit suicide. So I decided to run my car into a guardrail going about 60 miles an hour. I must have blacked out at some point because when I realized what I had done, I thought nothing but would have happened had I died. A funeral, people not understanding what happened, just a whole wave of emotions that I hadn't felt in what seemed like years. Then a firefighter opened my door and asked what I did or what had happened, and I said something that would change my life forever. I told him that I had just attempted suicide. And he looked at me and he was very understanding and he said, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. We're going to help you." After that, I stayed in the hospital for 4 days and my family came to visit me that weekend. And I knew that I had to get better. For not only them, but for myself. I was tired of living in my anxiety and depression shell that I had made for myself. They had given me very good instructions about finding a therapist and going to an 8-week recovery program that I was very hesitant to do at first. Until my awesome therapist kind of snapped at me and told me if I didn't go, I was going to end up dead. That woke me up. Nobody had ever put it to me like that before. And it opened my eyes. So after going through the intake process, I decided I was going to try it. Then I met the woman that would change my life forever. I remember the first conversation I ever had with her. I told her my story about what had happened about the car wreck. Then she asked what I thought about therapy. And I told her the truth. I was already emotionally a wreck, and I told her what I thought. I told her that I thought it was all bullshit. That she was just going to hand me papers and teach me breathing techniques. And she looked at me and said, "Well, that's not what I'm going to do. We're going to get this fixed together." And a spark went off in my brain and told me to trust her. So I did. And throughout the 8 weeks, I did the math and figured that those 8 weeks was about 10 years of therapy that I was doing before the program. Because I had only done like an hour of therapy here, like maybe an hour of therapy a month, if that. So it was about 10 years worth of therapy in 8 weeks. I could tell you everything we talked about and all the emotions and everything we did. But it would probably take about 10 years of video, and I don't think y'all want to stick around that long. I came out of this therapy with what we called a foundation for my mental well-being. And I continue following her instructions to this day. Now I have an excellent psychiatrist that has me on the right meds, that adjusts my meds when I need to, and my therapist, he's a great guy. He listens to me and helps me and tells me things that I need to hear at the time. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. He just tells me what I need to hear. I'm in a completely different place than where I was almost exactly a year ago. It's insane. I still struggle with depression and anxiety on a daily basis. But with the foundation that I have built, it helps make me feel like I can get out of any situation my mind makes me feel like I can't get out of. But, you know, that's my depression and anxiety story. I mean, it seems kind of short now that I'm reading it, but now that that's done, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that I didn't get to in this video. What kind of therapy I did, like I said, I can't go through all that in a 10-minute video. Like, I need, if y'all want more time with me, or just leave a comment. If you don't want to leave a comment, I'll leave my Instagram up, and you can message me on Instagram, and we can talk about this stuff. I want to help if I can. This is the whole reason I made the YouTube channel, like, just to help people understand that, man, like, all this stuff adds up and builds a person. Like, all this depression, anxiety, weight gain, weight loss, all of this is my story. And it could be your story. I don't know you, so it could be. And I just want you to know that the one person out there that needs to watch this video, hopefully I can help you. Hopefully we can figure it out and get you the help you need. Or, this video encourages you to seek out more help and not be ashamed. Because some people, there's a stigma around mental health these days that you can't seek help. And man, that's how I lived for a long time. And just know that there are programs out there, they'll work with you. If you don't have the money, man, sometimes they don't care. They just want to help you. They just want you to be alive. It's weird to think that there's people out there that don't know you, that want you to be alive. Just because you are you. And man, it's just crazy to me. Like, I never thought people like that existed. I was just in my own shell, and it's just, like I said, this is, remember, this is Life with Luna, and this is a big part of where I am today. So now that I have a good hold on my mental health, I'm ready to put more effort into my physical health. Depression does some wacky things to your physical health that people don't always realize. But this is a pretty long video, so if y'all could do me a favor this week and share this with at least one person on your Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. I want people to see my story and inspire them to get the help they may need. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.